Statehood for Puerto Rico and Washington, D.C.? Yes and no. Hello, I'm Steve Forbes, and this is What's Ahead, where you get the insights you need to help navigate this turbulent world. Democrats are pushing statehood for both Puerto Rico and Washington, D.C. They figure this will give their party 4 surefire new seats in the Senate, and in the case of Puerto Rico, a few extra reliably blue electoral votes in future presidential elections. Statehood for Puerto Rico could well happen in the next couple of years, but is unlikely for D.C. The big obstacle for the District of Columbia becoming a new state is the Constitution itself, which specifically created the new capital as a separate entity, precisely because it didn't want it to be dominated by a state. The territory for the district was carved out of Maryland and Virginia to be a size where it wouldn't be a mere rump. In the 1840s, a piece of the district was reattached to Virginia in a process called retrocession. Proponents of statehood say the district's 700,000 residents should be able to vote for members of Congress and the Senate like the other 50 states. Thanks to the 23rd Amendment to the Constitution, they already get to participate in presidential elections. The easiest solution would be to do another round of retrocession and reattach the bulk of the residents to Maryland. But many scholars believe making the district so small wouldn't pass constitutional muster. More to the point, Democrats don't like rejoining Maryland because the state already has senators. That's why they want D.C. to be a separate state and pick up those 2 extra seats. Given the fact that the Constitution is specific about the capital being a separate territorial entity, statehood advocates have come up with a cute solution. Carve out the White House, the National Mall, federal buildings and monuments, and the capital itself as the new district and make the rest of Washington a new state. We noted that this rump may violate the Constitution. And there is another problem. The rump would have only a handful of residents, but under that 23rd Amendment, they would determine 3 electoral votes in a presidential election. That would be preposterous, a handful of people determining that many electoral votes. Most Americans oppose D.C. statehood, but they are favorably disposed to Puerto Rico joining the Union. The question is, do Puerto Ricans themselves want it? In past referendums, they have rejected statehood or independence and instead have chosen to keep their current status, called the Commonwealth status, where they're American citizens, choose their own government, but don't pay federal taxes and don't vote in presidential or congressional elections. A new referendum would have to be held where the issue could be discussed in detail. If the people of Puerto Rico do choose statehood, then Puerto Rico, which has been a U.S. territory for over 120 years, should be admitted to the Union as the 51st state. I'm Steve Forbes. Thank you for joining us. Do send in your comments and suggestions, and I look forward to seeing you soon again.